Hey everyone, welcome to another TWM12 video on, Armored Warfare. Well, it's actually my first one in a while, and this one I'm going to be asking the question, is it still relevant in 2020 as a tank arcade game, tank simulator game? And I will answer that question later on in the video as well. If I answer it now, there'll be no point in the video really. But, anyways, Armored Warfare. Originally, I stopped playing around 2017 as there's a big falling out between Obsidian and my.com, and admittingly, I sort of lost faith in that the game would progress. But I am actually I'm actually quite happy in how the games came along. It's came along quite nicely. My only issue with it is there's a low player base. It went from a pretty decent one to quite a low one. Sadly, the game's been brushed under the rug, and not many people know about this little hidden gem. One thing I will say about this game that makes it quite unique is there's 3 modes. There's Global Operations, which is PvP with some PvE, which is very, very squad based and you really do need to work as a team, as it rewards you for capturing points such as tank repairs, ammunition. It's pretty handy to work as a team for that. There one with some PvE involved, such as anti-tank missile points and all that will attack you, so you need to watch out for them as well as the players. You've got your standard PvP. However, it's rarely a full 15v15 game, but to counter that, the game does do a skirmish version of it, which does cut down the map in size for 6v6 or 5v5, 4v4. Usually it's about 6v6, I've noticed, depending on your time of day. Then there's some more relaxing co-op missions, which I'm quite fond of, personally speaking. The co-op ones offer different difficulties. Extreme is good fun. It's difficult, and I failed a few times at, but I enjoy it. I usually do hardcore operations personally in my channel too at that too, and that's mainly because I enjoy it, and it's quite, as you can see, the waiting times aren't big, and you always get into it, as most people do play the co-op missions in this year. It's a nice change to frustrating PvP in games such as World of Tanks, just being able to relax, have fun with your mates, or join up with some randomers and follow out simple missions with a story to them that actually does link into story tasks, and not, which is actually on my next topic on this game, which makes it pretty unique. It holds different story events such as Arabian Nights. I'm not sure what, I think the next one is Spirit Heaven or something like that there. I'm not too sure, I can't remember. But it's quite a unique thing to have for a game. It sort of sets it aside from World of Tanks. Another thing I will say about this, it's not pay to win. There is a premium aspect, and it's pay to progress a lot faster. As one big difference is there's no premium ammunition. There's no all-knowing god shell like in World of Tanks that will penetrate everything per tank. In this game is purely down to your skill as a shooter, RNG, and identifying the correct tank for the correct shell type, which is pretty unique. So if you're using ATGMs, you need to know where you need to shoot it, so you don't shoot it on ERA plates. You'll aim for exposed rare raw armor, or you'll try and take our active protective system. One of the shipments right in front of me, might as well take a shot. I will say this, tanks in this game are a lot more harder to kill due to that there, and you do feel like you're in a modern MPT when you're able to survive multiple tank hits. ATGM hits, your active protective system works. It's pretty nice to see. Then another unique feature that I quite like about this about this game is the fact you can adjust your suspension. Come on. That's it. Bradley crippled. As you can see, we're both getting pinged over here in multiple aspects. Come on. Which is quite nice. Now there is some bugs such as sound bugs and some random graphics bugs, nothing too big. And another wee feature I do like is the fact you can use your coxswain machine gun, which is quite nice. Pretty pointless, but nice nonetheless. It's a nice gesture. I hope you can still hear me okay, so I don't have to redo this, as it's my 4th attempt making this, due to the fact that I've got my sound quality mixed. One thing I am so thankful about is artillery is purely in this game limited to PvE. There's none of that bullshit stunning that even though they try and make it realistic, there's no bullshit of getting stunned every 5 seconds by artillery like in all the tanks. And there's none of that pay to win bullshit in it, which is quite nice. As well as the community in this game usually are quite nice to each other and are quite welcoming. So it's nice to see a welcoming community over one that when you're new they'll stat shame you even though you're trying your best, or if you have a poor win rate they'll call you out on it in the middle of the game because something went wrong. It's nice to see. It's nice to see a bit of a close-knit community. However, there is still some cancerous players, as in all games, so don't expect every game to be full of nice players. Okay, another feature, well, another thing to talk about is graphics. The graphics are yes, the graphics aren't as perfect or as mint as some games, but the graphics are graphics I like. They remind me of what I used to like in games. Not too realistic, not too childish. They're a nice balance. They make a game feel like a game, not some realistic bullshit that makes you think, oh, this looks amazing, it has to be based on all that shit. It's just, and yes, you can tell I'm Northern Irish because of the way I describe things the way I speak. And anyways, back in another feature. This mightn't seem like a big deal, but a feature I quite like is the sheer fact you can control your suspension. You can use it to hydraulically lift your tank up to peek over things, to hide behind things, to hold arm. You can tighten your suspension for it to be able to do better on road, or loosen it so it can do better off road. It makes it more unique, if you understand what I mean. It makes it feel like you're actually driving a modern main battle tank because you're able to adjust it. I know I sound like I'm ranting and raving on, and I'll say this again, it's a game that's definitely still relevant in this here. Track down bloody ATGMs are a pain in the arse. But thankfully my armor can defeat most of them. Until the track means to get around the side. Oh, nice wee 1,000. They really do, that's it. They like shooting your tracks, I will say this. Come on. There we go. Nice wee overmatch. I think I set him on fire. Did I? Right, that's him dead. Destroy. Come on. Get reloaded in time. Never mind, he's dead. Wait, don't need to worry. Critical hit. So it looks like I killed more of his crew members. Superior T90. Ooh, target through ERA. As I said, ERA can be quite a pain in the ass. But oh, there's that secondary objective right there.
Well done, Black Company. Got some of that poison off the streets.
Might as well have just used my LMG for that there. Capture a bridge. That was quite an easy one, but it was quite an enjoyable one. And I did get distracted a wee bit and didn't went off a bit topic. And another wee unique thing I would like to show you in this is unique vehicles. And the way some of them work, and that's the MLR systems, or anti-tank guided missile systems. There's one that's very unique that uses hypersonic kinetic penetrators, and the further you are away from the target, the stronger your penetration is. So it has a bit more unique gameplay and diverse gameplay. So that would be the MGM116, which features hyperkinetic penetrators. Preview. Once all renders in. So essentially, if you're close to the target, you're able to do you'll do a lot less damage. But if you're engaging at range, you should be able to do a lot more penetration and a lot more damage to it. As let's see, I'm trying to think. There we go there. So at 200 meters, you're only getting about 600 mil penetration, but at 800 meters, you're getting 1800 mil penetration with 826 damage. So longer distance, higher rate of penetration. It also has other unique vehicles such as the M113 Hellfire, Griffin, Cornet. Where's the other one gone? The M48 Avenger, Vigilante. There's some real nice. It's just a nice wee touch. And another thing I do like is you're not stuck to one full tree of vehicles. They're all interlinked in some cases, and they're all done by what the dealer wishes to offer you. They're not, oh, you're stuck to all British, this, that, there, you're stuck to all this. It's all based on the actual dealers, which I think it's a nice change. As you can see, you could go from the Sheridan, which would be onto a different dealer, be onto this one. I'm trying to think what you call him. Shishins or Marit. So you'd be going from Seoul to Marit, which I think is quite nice. I'll let you be the judge of that. So, in my personal opinion, I want to show you one more unique vehicle. It's the MTLB. It's essentially a tracked troop transport with 2 rocket balls attached to it. It's stupidly fun to play. While its DPS isn't the best, it's just fun to play because it's really unique. Anyways, in my personal opinion, I do believe it still is relevant and it still is a nice game to play. However, the big drawback is the fact it has a low player base. So I do believe if the player base increased, this game would be a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyable. However, I don't see it ever increasing massively. So I do believe it's still a still relevant game in regards to having a relaxing time when playing tanks. I would definitely recommend playing it. I recommend trying it. It's free to play, so let's be honest, you're not losing anything by trying it other than a couple of hours of your personal time. But I'll leave that up to you. Anyways, thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hope you give the game a chance.